Welcome everyone. So you could see that we were setting up close to a wall. We are going to be doing, turn that music off just a second. We are going to be doing a practice away from the wall, but then we're going to go to the wall. And before we get started in our first pose, I just want to say the lesson for today is not all inspiring or anything. I was really inspired yesterday and recorded 2 videos that will be up later for you to listen to conversations. Today, I wanted to focus more on the fact that we have some poses that can relate to the current events that we see happening in the world. And the biggest thing that's happening right now is what? The Queen's death, right?
Notice we all paused because we're like, well, which
Yeah,
one
it's
is
like,
she?
which
I
one?
know. There's so
So
many. There's so many things happening. You're so right. But when I'm online right now, or when I'm looking at articles right now, I'm being bombarded with the Queen and the Queen's death and everything that's been happening these past few days to prepare for her funeral. And they're doing 10 days of mourning. And I had told myself when it first happened, I was like, I am not going to get caught up in this. This is just another great distraction. And it doesn't really concern me or us as Americans, but you can't help not see some of it. And I lived in England for a semester when I was in college. And it's actually been kind of fun to see some of the footage because I've been to some of these places, you know. I've hung out outside of Buckingham Palace. I have walked the Royal Mile in Edinburgh, Scotland. You know, I have been to Westminster Abbey, the place where her funeral is going to take place. And so it's been, I don't know, I've gotten caught up in some of the footage, just paying attention to how the people are responding to the fact that the Queen that has been the ruler for 70 years is gone. And it's been interesting to see that, you know, they have a group in England, in Great Britain, who are against the monarchy. And it's really cool, actually, to see that they're not rearing their head right now, because they're actually honoring the fact that there's this grieving process. And I heard this person from England speaking, and she said, you know, you just got to learn how to read the room, you know, and to see how people are responding emotionally and just respecting that. So I'm going to go ahead and say, though, because I don't care. It doesn't matter if you align with her and the Brits who are sad and grieving because this was the Queen, and, you know, she represented their nation. And, you know, a lot of people looked at her as being a really good soul. You know, and they were looking at the double rainbow over the palace the day of her death as being like a symbol of that. And yesterday, during one of the processions, there was someone where the light was shining that looked like they had a halo over their head. And they even were talking about that, right? So from some people's perspective, they're looking at this like, oh, these are all such great signs from the universe and the divine, you know. And then there's this other group, it's like, well, no, that's pretty corrupt. She was one of the elitists in the world, and there's a lot of corruption there. And why is there still this monarchy that's so medieval? And why is it still in modern culture today? And there was even someone arrested in London because they were, you know, proclaiming the king, you know, the new King Charles. And he just happened to be walking home from work. And he yelled out, who elected him? So you're going to have the naysayers and the questioners and the people, you know, not really caring or being indifferent to it. And then you have the conspiracy theorists who are like, oh, that whole family's reptilian, they're alien, they're the real evil doers of the planet. And this is a good thing. And the rainbow and the lights and the halo is actually a sign from the universe that this era of evil is done, the light has won, and now we're going to be moving into this place of more peace and more power to the people, right? I don't care what you align with. It doesn't matter. There's a king and queen of asanas in yoga, and that's what I'm getting to. We're gonna be doing the king and queen of asanas today, and we're gonna be doing it the gentle way, okay? Now, we're gonna start off in a restorative pose, we're gonna get active, and then we're gonna do the king and queen of the asanas. We're gonna start off in the royal pose. Sometimes this is also called queen. But since there's now a king, we're gonna call it royal. So the first two blocks are set up, one on its tall height, one on its middle height, so that the bolster can create a slide. And this is gonna be for our back. We're gonna take the blanket and open it up this way. And then we're gonna loosely roll it. And go ahead and sit close to your bolster and have the blanket in front of you. And we're gonna center and breathe first before we roll back. So coming to rest, your hands on your lap. And closing and resting your eyes. We're going to take a moment to breathe up and down the spine. So go ahead and begin to align each vertebra on top of each other, lifting through your navel, lifting through the breastbone, and through the top of the head. Once you extend your spine, for the next couple rounds of breath, I want you to focus on the exhale. Rooting down through your seat, rounding down into your body. Focusing on this first chakra, the tailbone region. This energy center that connects us to the Earth Star. This energy center that controls or really governs the process of elimination, the skeletal system, our circulation, our legs, our feet. But it also concerns our own personal bloodline. Our ancestors, our family roots, our conditioning in our past. Now put a little bit more emphasis in your in-breaths. And follow the wave of the breath all the way up to the heart and beyond. To what we refer to as the seventh chakra or crown chakra. Think about this is where royalty would set their crowns on their head. The crown of the head being our gateway to our higher self, to the higher power, to great wisdom, unification. Now that we've been centering and breathing between these two centers, we're going to take this restorative royal pose. So that means we're going to bring the soles of the feet to join together. This blanket that we've already prepared is going to go over the feet And then we take the end and we start to roll it up. And then the roll is gonna stuff up underneath your calf. And you're gonna do this to each side. So really what this is providing is a prop for the knees, which will also aid the hips. Now we'll hold the bottom of that bolster and just casually roll back. And then your hands can turn open and face upward. Close your eyes. Relax. And breathe. Notice how this takes the load off of your body. You're no longer having to work to sit or be in any particular way. Your back and your head is supported. Your hips and your knees are being supported. You might even notice that even though we're not in a back bend, this can still be a heart-opening pose. Or maybe notice the inhalations lifting the chest, and the exhalations deflating the chest. Each opening that you receive on the inhalations, try to maintain it energetically, even as you breathe out. So physically it might change, but energetically, stay open. My friend Allison, who's tapped into a whole other realm, was just telling me this morning that she received a message from her guides that what is happening now in England is going to be the beginning of the healing of humanity's hearts. Regardless if you align with that message, know that you have an opportunity here, and really every time we're intentional with our practice to heal our own hearts. And if we can heal our own heart, we help the collective heal humanity's heart. So let's apply that now. help your mind quiet down by counting your next rounds of breath. Take it to 7. You arrive to that spiritual number of 7. Exit out of this position. One way to do this is to turn your palms down and slide them in close to your body. Lift your head up, slightly tuck the chin to the chest. Use your core and upper body strength to rise off the bolster. And then you can release the blanket, the bolster behind you. And you may want one block, okay? So the reason why you might want one block is we're gonna sit in hero pose, right? So if that doesn't work well for you to sit on your feet, you can sit on a block. Some people actually need 2 blocks stacked. So it's okay to continue to build up. But we're resting on the shins, the top portions of the feet. You guys might have seen the headlines that there's some folks in India saying, give us our diamond back, right? Now that the queen is gone, there's some special famous diamond. When the British came in, they took over. So on the inhale, we're gonna lift off the block and we're gonna create diamond pose. And then as we exhale, we're gonna bring the hands down the midline and we're gonna sit back down. This is very sneaky quad work. Inhale, coming up to diamond. And then exhale, coming back down. So just think of all the jewels that royalty owns as you lift to diamond. But really, what is more valuable, the jewels outside of us or the jewels that live inside of us? Now, often like to think of the heart as being like a precious diamond. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, coming down. We're gonna do 2 more, okay? Inhale. And exhale. Last one. All right, we're gonna come to tabletop position. So you can use that block. You're gonna be on hands and knees. All right, so the first thing I want you to do is just test it out. If you send your right foot behind your back, can your foot be flat? Can your leg be fully extended here? And if you casually gaze over your back shoulder, can your heel be in line with your hip instead of any higher? Because if the foot goes higher, you're gonna bow your back and your belly's gonna sag. And we want the belly to be firm. So push through your palms, press back through your right foot, and let your core fire up. All right, now see if you can balance and send your left arm in front of you. This is spinal balance or seabird pose. Breathe. And then exhale, lower the left hand first. And then we're gonna shift the left shin back. We're gonna turn the right foot on the wall. And we're gonna send the right arm skyward. So it's like a side plank, but a more gentle variation. Let the wall help you with stability today. And on your out breath, you're gonna bring the right hand down, spin the right toes to face down, and shift your left shin back to the sticky mat. All right, we're gonna strengthen the hip. We're gonna send the foot off the wall, off to the right side, hold it up if possible. And Lily, go ahead and drop your foot.
Yeah.
Because that's your right side, right? Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and just send the right foot to the floor. And then we're gonna sweep open into stargazer, which is a twist. The right arm reaches up towards the heavens. So when you turn open to stargazer, if it doesn't straighten your neck, look up. And I want you to recognize that the royalty of the past used to have astrologers as part of their council. They would depend on astrologers to look at the natal charts and to see what was written in the stars for their power and even for battle. Exhale, bring the right hand down and lower the right knee. All right, we'll take that to the other side. Left foot is gonna go to the back wall. Position your wrist underneath the inside or head of the shoulder bones. Your right knee below your hip. Press into your back foot, firm up in your belly. And then balance on alternate limbs so that you can send your right arm forward and out. Look down for better balance, gaze forward for a challenge. Getting the blend of length and strength here. Good, exhale, lower the right hand. Shift your right shin behind you, turn your left foot. So that way you can roll open and stack your hips and send your left arm skyward. A modified side plank. Using the wall for stability. Good, exhale, lower your left hand, lower the left toes, shift your right shin back to the mat. Send the foot away from the wall to your left side. Try to keep that leg up hip height if possible. It's a good strengthener for the quads, for the hip, and you may feel it in your glutes. All right, lower the left foot. Inhale, sweep open to stargazer. So if you're curious, I was curious, I listened to a couple of astrologers with their predictions of what was written in the stars. And they don't think King Charles is going to be ruling very long. So they're predicting William will take the throne within several years. 1 to 6 years is what I heard. We'll see. Exhale, let's bring the left hand down and we'll bring the knee down as well. Okay, we're gonna come up to stand. So the way I like to stand from this position is coming to standing Vajrasana, stepping forward, and then standing. Hopefully that works out. Arms lift up overhead. Lace your hands and roll the wrists. Press and drill down through the soles of the feet. Lift up through your knees. Roll your thighs in. Feel that activation in your belly and alongside your spine. All right, go ahead and release your right hand down and flip your left hand to face down. Chandrasana crescent moon. Breathe into your left side, into your left lung, affirming strength and courage. Fills up my body cells. Inhale, come back up. Both arms elevating. Hands lacing.
Wrists rolling open. Again, press through the feet. Lift through your side waist. Exhale, release your hands. Let your left hand descend. Flip your right palm to face down. Breathe into this opposite side, the solar panel side. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, lower the arms. Stand with attention as if you were one of the Queen's guards. And if you've ever been to England, even if you haven't, you've seen them in photographs or on video, they're stone-faced, right? No expression. So feel as though you are mimicking one of the guards. This is actually the affirmation for Tadasana. I hardly ever use it. So affirm internally, I stand ready to obey thy least command. Obviously, the guard would have to obey the orders. Here, we're standing with attention to obey the order from our higher self. And now relax your body. Good. You're going to step to the right. When you step to the right, your left foot is going to turn towards the short edge side of the mat. Your arms are going to float up shoulder height. You're going to lengthen out over the left side, and you're going to windmill down to triangle pose. So think about pressing the feet, really lifting through that upper hand fingertips. And then turn your gaze down. Lunge into that knee, spin off the back heel. You may have to wiggle the right toes back a bit if you had a shorter stance. Come to the fingertips, open your heart, look out with your eyes in this lunge. Good, when you're ready, plant the palm, step back into downward facing dog. From Adho Mukha Svanasana, inhale, come forward, plank, streamline your body. Be long and strong here. Exhale, press back. Downward facing dog. Continue to hold and breathe. And keep your eyes open since we're inverted. Inversions teach us to look at things differently, to open and expand our mind. So we're not just caught up in our own sense of perception. We can gain a higher perspective. We can see other people's views. Inhale, come forward, plank. Exhale, down dog. On your next in-breath, travel the feet forward to the top. Close down and in, Uttanasana. Let your head go, maybe even nodding your head yes, no, or even in a blend. Affirming nothing and no one on this earth can hold me down or back. Inhale, slide your hands up your shins. Lengthen out through the crown of your head. Release the hands from the shins, sweep them to the sides and up over. And then exhale, bring hands home to the heart. All right, we're going to step to the left. Feet are more parallel initially, but then the right foot's going to rotate to face the short edge of the mat. Arms lift up shoulder height. Press out over that right leg and windmill down to your triangle pose. The feet beat the base. And the base here is representing the people, the populace. And the pinnacle represents Who's in charge? Who has and holds the power? The people are the foundation. Take one more deep breath. As you exhale, look down, lunge the right knee, spin off the back heel, frame the front foot with your hands, and take that lunge. Drive the heart forward. Pick your back thigh up. Good, step back into your plank. Exhale to downward facing dog. Look at your feet. Just create a slim distance between the big toes. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, we're gonna lower one knee and then the other. All right, we're gonna roll open to cow. And then from cow, we're gonna step the arms out and sink the chest and chin down for a deeper back down. If that's too much, you can always come back to cow. And if resting on the chin is too much, turn to rest on your forehead instead. Anahata. I'm not going to hold it as long as yin. Just take one last breath. And then slowly pull in through the belly, pull up through your ribs, walk your hands back under or slightly under your shoulders, curl the toes, take downward facing dog. We're going to step it on up to the top of the neck. Once you walk through, double over. Let your shoulders relax, your arms drape down. Then inhale, slide your hands up your shins, lengthen out to the vertebrae, give yourself some space. Take the hands away from the shins, reach them up overhead. Completing this with hands to heart. All right, we got to get to the queen and king in a minute. I want to do a twist. And the way we're going to do this twist is we're going to get snug to the wall. And the leg that's closest, so my right leg's the closest, I don't care which side you do first. If you want to honor digestion, have your right leg up though. So your right knee and hip are in line and pressing against the wall, okay? Your right arm's gonna go up, palm flat. And then your left arm is gonna come forward, palm flat. But then to create the twist, slide your right hand down, turn to face the wall, or turn to gaze towards your back hand. Balance and breathe. Feel the strength building you're gaining in your left leg bones. Lift your right arm. Unwind the twist and lower the right knee. Okay, and turn to the other side. Left knee lifts in line with your hip. The foot can flex. Left arm reaches up, palm to the wall. Right arm in front, palm to the wall. And then to take the twist, lower the left hand, turn to face the wall or your left hand. Hold and breathe. Your left arm, come out of the twist and sink the left foot. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the more gentle variation of shoulder stands. And just as I don't care how you view the queen and her desk, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me if you believe in one and only life, or if you believe in past lives. For this, doesn't really matter. Some people get into this pose and they actually verbally say out loud, I feel like my head's about to get cut off. So I find it interesting that this is called the Queen of Awesomeness, because there certainly were a lot of queens in the past that were beheaded.
Yes, that's true.
And that's just something I hear from people. So if you feel like this is just too much for your neck, don't do it. You can do bridge pose, the supported bridge pose in its place. Now, the way I'm setting this up, you guys may not be able to see from the video, but I'm gonna hold it up. There's only about maybe 6 inches of the sticky mat free. And then there's the fringe of the blanket. Now that's for me being petite and 5'4". So Sharon, you're obviously taller than I am. You may need more space for your torso. And this is why. So for me being 5'4", providing about 6 inches there, that's where my butt's gonna go. And I'm gonna lower down to the shoulder. And when I roll back, now the blanket is under my spine, save my neck, right? It's coming right here. Let me go ahead and show you what we're gonna do. We're gonna bend the knees and we're gonna lift to catch the hips. Then we're gonna straighten the legs and point the toes. And this is the variation of shoulder stand we're doing today. This is not near as intense than doing it this way, where you do feel like you can't take as deep of a breath. So the roll of the blanket should be at the base of your neck. Head is on the sticky mat, similar to the buttocks. That looks good, Kelly. And then when you're ready, yes, bend the knees, push into the wall with your feet, tuck and lift, catch your hips or low back. Notice if your belly is sunken in, and if so, just pull it up. You got it. Straighten your legs, point your toes, and this is gonna be our gentle form of shoulder stand today. Sarvangasana. So try to make an angle from your ankles down to your shoulders. Eyes can be open or shut. But I want you to affirm new peace is flooding through my consciousness. New peace is flooding through my consciousness. Now we're doing the gentle way, so just please know that doing shoulder stand for 20 minutes is said to be equivalent to 2 hours of sleep. It's hard to hold though for that long, even this way using the wall. So we're gonna come out, because I'm starting to feel it and I wasn't in it as long as you. So bring your feet down, roll down one vertebra at a time. Okay, keep your knees bent. Separate your feet wider than your hips. Let your toes turn out to the side, but keep the feet flat to the surface. And let your knees just kind of rock open. And your arms can release to the floor or even above the head. This is a nice hip opener at the wall. Feel how when your knees bend, you get more elongation in your low back. Back may flatten down to the mat. Soften your face, your sensory organs, your jaw. Soften your belly so it can expand the in-breath, deflate on the out-breath. All right, let's slide the feet together. That butterfly position. Take 7 to 10 breaths here. Start to slide the feet up and draw the knees together so that your legs are lifting and you're coming into legs up the wall. Now place your hands somewhere on your belly, maybe one above, one below the navel. Or side to side of the navel. This pose is also medicinal for insomnia. It can really calm us down in order to even go to sleep. But here we're trying to stay awake. Inner observer of all that is happening within and without. So I want you to determine and to discern what you would prefer doing today. If everything in your being is saying, stay here, just rest here. But if you're wanting to go towards the king of asanas, which is the head space, then you'll just slide the feet down about halfway. You'll roll off to your left side. And you're going to casually come up. And no one's coming up. And that's okay. All right. So I was planning on using the yoga lifts to make it restorative headstand. But it seems like you've chosen. So be here. I am going to slow down the music so that you can enjoy a long Shavasana. I'm going to change it to some sound meditation tracks, where you can listen to some Tibetan singing bowls and other soundscapes.
So let your mind and body take rest. When I say for the mind to take rest, it doesn't mean to allow it to dull out or to seep into the unconscious state of the mind. Rather, we want to stay aware and observant of any of the thought currents that enter or flow through your mind. The idea is to slow down the current. We can do that when we witness by not being caught up or entrapped in those thoughts. Instead, we allow the observation, breath, the still point in between, to break up the thoughts so that they become less and less and less. Practice that now. back to observe the breath. Sliding your feet down, rolling away to one side. Prop your arm up underneath your ear. Acclimate here first. Press through the right hand to your eyes. Coming out to take a seat. Feel free to fold your blanket if you need like a little bit more support. We're gonna flip the hands open. Closing the eyes. Tuning within your own self. Noticing any changes. Hopefully feeling a positive shift. Hands joining together. And we all walk away from this practice feeling more free and at peace in our bodies, hearts, and minds. The light within me honors the vast, beautiful light in each of you. For joining me in practice today. I hope you enjoyed the roller.
Always do.
And I should have known putting in lights on the wall, you weren't gonna want to move after that. But that's all good, it's all fine. You can get a headstand in later if you want. We still got down dog, we still got Uttanasana, we still got shoulder stand, so we got several in.